The Death of Superman by William Taylor III.
When I was a kid, I wasn't afforded the liberty of finding my own identity. I was black, 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 and black. I thought my dad was Superman. He could be counted on for intense sessions of piggyback riding. He would run down our long hallways doing his best impression of a bucking horse, pushing me up in a bounce and knocking the wind out of my lungs. I'd cling to the back of his stained white shirt, doing my best to command him with my thick, 4-year-old fingers, greasy from snack time. Done within minutes, he dumped me carelessly onto her bed or couch, leaving within, "I'm tired, going to lie down, going to have a cigarette." I assumed that's what daddies were for. Mommies were for everything else. I was content. I was my dad's only child. He gave me all the attention in the world. He was Superman. Like Superman, my dad was tall and built like an athlete. I couldn't imagine what my dad looked like when he was younger, but he kept his face in a state of perpetual stubble, peppered with gray hairs, his head just as unremarkable. Bald, it beamed every time it collided against the sunlight, as if not to say, but to announce, "Yes, I'm a victim of male pattern baldness, and I'm not ashamed." His arms where the eyes would fall, however, painted with jet black ink. Monsters, roses, and skulls scattered across his upper and lower arms were beautiful reminders of who he was in his long, gory days. In the 90s, he and my mom, along with their entire immediate family, hauled ass out of Gold Country, California, and for whatever reason, decided to set up camp in the natural state of Arkansas. I can say my dad was a man's man. Masculinity steamed off of him like he was some star beat into the shape of a man. When I was about 5 or 6, I hadn't had it beat into my head that boys should play with footballs and girls with dolls, so I chose the latter. They're my older half-sisters, and I liked the way their plastic figures curved slightly to imitate the female form, how their hair fell onto the small of their backs. I made them dance on the hardwood floor of my sister's bedroom. Beside me was a bulky wooden chest, sitting in the gaze of the afternoon sun. I dropped the dolls, walked barefoot across the hardwood floor, and lifted the trunk open. Inside were more dolls. Some toys were mine that snuck their way into Barbie territory. I dug deeper into the chest and felt something delicate on the back of my hand. Turning it, I grasped the mystery fabric and tugged upwards past the Barbies. Their tiny plastic hands tried to pull it away from me, but I jerked the tutu away. I triumphantly put my leg through the hole in the tutu, and the pink fluff pushed away from my body. Content, I walked back to my dolls and proceeded to make them do a tango. Silence loomed over the house, save for the Barbie's feet, tapping against the fake mahogany flooring. It was beaten dead by the thunder that found its way down the hall to my sister's bedroom, toward their door. My dad's heavy steps were hushed shotgun blasts. I didn't think anything of it. My sisters always let me play with their toys, and for a moment, a breath of life pushed itself back into the silence. I knew he was at the door, so I turned around with a smile to present the dance routine I taught the Barbies to my father. My dad, my daddy. My eyes darted from his large bare feet to his eyes. It was only a second, but I could see his tired eyes harden with anger, or maybe confusion. He was no Superman. He was kidnapped, yes, kidnapped and replaced by this ugly thing. Its features were so stark and fierce and damning that it had to have been thrown from hell for being too terrible. It yanked to my arm, pulled me from my knees. The monster took its whip from around its waist. Curses spewed from its big lips and slurs. It raised its muscular arm and brought it down lightning fast. I thought it was going to hit me, but instead it zoomed past my ears with a whoosh and slapped the floor hatefully. I couldn't make out everything it said. Take, off, now. I took the tutu off and threw it down in a pathetic whimper. Boys, don't, dolls, faggot. The words bore into my chest like rusty knives, chipping away the thing that made me feel. They left a hole so deep and black, I swear was where angels went to die. It was a gap in my heart, labeled, for Dad. He told me I was in trouble. He marched me into my bedroom and closed the door. Lights off. I dug my face into the comfort of my pillow. I never cried so much in my life. It was a hard, ugly one with dry heaving and a runny nose. I never cried so much in my life. 3 years into high school, I haven't ever heard my dad say, "I love you, son." Those 4 simple words might not be strong enough to mend our fractured love, but it will be a start. That day, my pillow damp, I remember when I ran to his room. I wasn't looking for him, but my mother. She wasn't there, and he was. He stared into my eyes. I looked into his tired ones, like a child pleading with his father. Because I was a child pleading with his father. I banged on all the doors to his heart as I stared him down. No one's home. Skin like onyx, blood like fire, heart like stone. I could feel calluses go round my soul as if they could deliver me from him. And while I don't understand why he does what he does, and although the F word might be the most used word in his vocabulary, and he might not be anything near a good parent, I feed off of the hope that one day our past will be something to laugh about, and together we can fill the hole in my heart labeled, for Dad.